Okay, part 2 is now in session. That night when it rained, Woody tries to get out of the cage, but then he gets Buzz. He tries to get Buzz and tells him to get the toolbox off of him, but he couldn't because he realized that he's a toy and not a space ranger. But Woody encourages Buzz that he's a real hero, and Buzz Lightyear tries to help Woody. Then it was morning, and Sid took the big one. And then Woody was worried about Buzz, so he tries to convince Sid's toys, and they make a plan to scare Sid and save Buzz Lightyear. Yeah. Then later on, Sid was about to do this Buzz Lightyear mission log with the big one, and then he sees Woody and puts him on the grill with a match, saying, "You and I could have a cookout later." And then, all of a sudden, when he was about to use the match for the big one, Woody talks and then says, says to Sid, "We do not like to be blown up or smashed or ripped apart." Sid becomes scared, and then Sid's toys comes to life, and then Sid freaks out about that. And Woody says, "From now on, you have to take very good care of your toys. Because if you don't, we toys can see everything." And then he says to him, "So play nice." And Sid screams and runs away. And the toys and Woody are all celebrating because of that. And then Buzz Lightyear thanks Woody for saving him. Then they look at Andy's mom's car with Andy, and then they run for the car. Yeah. They run for the car, and later on during the film, Woody sees Andy's toys and he uses a car, and then the toys freak out about that. But he did that for a reason to help Buzz Lightyear. And the toys then just beats up Woody, and then he throws out Woody. But the toy car comes to Woody and Buzz, and the toy's like, "Oh my god, it is Buzz." Then they felt ashamed of what they did to Woody. But the toy car was running out of like a gas, and Woody's like, "Oh, great." But the match that Sid put in his pocket was about to do something, but the car came, and Woody then freaks out about that. But when he sees a bright dot, he uses it for the rocket, and he lit a rocket, and then all of a sudden it explodes, and then the toy car all of a sudden goes to Mr. Potato Head, yeah. And then the big one explodes, but Buzz flies with Woody, and they're still alive, and Woody's like, "Hey, you're flying!" And Buzz like, "This isn't flying, this is falling with style." And Woody's like, "To infinity and beyond!" And they land in Andy's box, and Andy was very delighted because he found his toys finally, Woody and Buzz. And he was very happy to have them again. And then it was Christmas. And then they used the speaker sing, and whoops, sorry guys. And then, yes, there was this one scene where Mr. Potato Head's wish had came true. Mrs. Mr. Potato Head's wish had came true. Mrs. Potato Head. And then he took off the mustache and Woody and Buzz are now friends. And then later on, at the very end, Andy finally got a puppy, and Woody and Buzz is like, uh-oh. That's basically what the plot is for the entire film. What do I think about this movie? This is a great film. This is a really great film. I mean, the animation is brilliant, and the characters are likable and good-hearted people. The music is incredible, and the plot is really great. Like, my favorite character in this film is Woody and Bo Peep. They're my favorite. And the sequels are just as great. I really love the sequels. Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, and Toy Story 4. They were all really great films. And we got new characters from that sequel, which is Jessie and Bullseye and Barbie, Ken, etc. And yes, Mrs. Potato Head too. She was in that sequel too. And the characters acted more unselfish and sensitive and, yes, even warm-hearted. The characters from the Toy Story sequels even act more warm-hearted, and the villains from that sequel, Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 at least, became more antagonistic. And Toy Story 4 and I think Toy Story 4 was the best way to end this franchise, this beloved franchise. And the animation is so brilliant. Like, it's computer animated, and this is one of Pixar's very first films to be created. And it's one of Pixar's masterpieces as well. And the songs are really beautiful. Like, You've Got a Friend in Me, Strange Things. All those beautiful musics from that film are just so lovely. Especially You've Got a Friend in Me, which is very beautiful. And the plot is very great, very great. I like how Woody and Buzz had become enemies at first, but then they became friends later on throughout the film. At first they were bickering and fighting at each other, but then they helped each other at the end. That's really something. That's very that's very unselfish. And yep, the characters are very likable, like I said. And the Sid, who's the antagonist, he was very destructive to his own toys, but when he sees his toys coming to life and freaking out about it and being scared, he learns his lesson about that. I mean, this is a really great Pixar film with a brilliant animation, beloved characters, great music, great plot, and great antagonists, great everything. Do I have anything negative to say about this movie? Well, my short answer to that question is no. I don't have anything negative at all. I mean, this movie was my childhood along with the sequels. And it's a great film. No matter how old you are, if you're a kid or a teenager or an adult, this is a movie for all ages. So for my final rating for Toy Story, it's you guessed it, 7 out of 7. Such an outstanding masterpiece. Yep, I give Toy Story a 7 out of 7. What a great masterpiece from Pixar. And the very first Pixar film ever to be made from 1995. Well, that was my review on Toy Story. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to me. This is Jonathan, the Disney and Tom and Jerry fan 2020 here, and I'll see you guys next time on my next video. And I'll see you guys later.